What's up, family? How are y'all? This is Rashid, the car guide, signing in. You are on the Ages and Stages live for another episode of the men's panel, Barbershop Talk. Thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you guys. A lot of feedback from this one. I think you guys are going to be happy with my guys, the cast today. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. It's going to be Barbershop Talk. So we're going to act like the ladies aren't in the room. But again, ladies, get your pen and
But I'm in
pad
the
out.
room. Hi, baby. I love you.
Well, go ahead and show yourself.
No, I didn't brush my hair.
Well, you want to yell to let everybody be known that you're here?
I'm just
She's
here to
about to
help.
leave, though. All right. So anyway, y'all, we'll be right back. We'll do this countdown. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? As you know, Simona's already crashed the party, but I just kicked her out. So we're definitely in the barbershop now. I appreciate everybody for joining us. We got a lot of people in here already. Thank you guys for waiting and being a part of the men's panel. I got a great group for y'all tonight, and we're going to introduce everybody. And we're just going to get started. Remember, this is Barbershop Talk. We talk about guy stuff, what motivates us, what we talk about when we're amongst ourselves, just chilling in a barbershop setting where it's shouldn't be any women around. We just chopping it up and chilling and talking. So we're gonna get into it, you guys. Thanks to everybody again for joining. I'm gonna start first of all and introduce the OG. I got to give deference to the OG, triple OG from Ready to Love. The second Atlanta season is my guy, also my frat brother. He's a native Texan, y'all. He out there in Atlanta, but I think he's trying to come back to the H. Y'all welcome London Dunlap to the show, to the podcast. What up, London?
Hey, what's going on, my man? Appreciate you having me. You know what I mean?
No
I'm
problem,
excited
man.
to hear the fellas talk, kind of rub elbows a little bit, catch
Yeah.
up with you for a minute. But yeah, I'm going back to Houston though. It ain't trying to. Yeah, my house here is sold, man. I'm on my way back to H-Town. So
Right,
yeah,
because
next yeah.
I saw on your IG that your house was for sale. Like, yo, what's going on? Because I know you be getting promotions all the time. So I
Yeah.
don't know if we moving up bigger crib. He's like, yo, I'm coming back to the H.
Yeah, bigger crib, man. I can't downgrade. You got to keep it real noopish. You already know that.
Already, for sure. All right, so, and then I got my two castmates with me from Ready to Love, Last Resort. I got David, the gentleman of Houston. What up, David?
What's
Country boy.
happening, car guy? Hey, man, look here. I'm in this thing. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, man? Glad you joined. And we'll recap who you are and where you were from. And I just want to introduce everybody right now. But David was from our episode of Ready to Love, The Last Resort. David's a country boy from Lufkin, Texas. He got sent home a little early, and some people felt away about that, but we'll get into it in just a second. And then my other brother from Last Resort. It looks like your mic is muted, Tony. Did I do that? Let me see.
I did.
Okay, you did. Anthony, otherwise known as Tony Stubbs. Right. Anthony from my season, Ready to Love, Last Resort, or AKA Tony Stubbs. What up, Tony? Welcome to the podcast.
What's going on? Appreciate you having me.
Not a problem, man. Thank you. And last but not least, the newest, the rookie. Well, you know what? There's a new season now after you, so you becoming a vet. We got Cornelius, also my frat brother.
I'll be a pro
GC
fighter.
season of Ready to Love. Huh?
I'll be a pro fighter after this one.
Right. So welcome Cornelius to the podcast.
What's going on?
What's going on, man? Thank you guys so much for jumping on. All right, so let's get into it. So London, let's refresh everybody from your season to Ready to Love. You ended. You had a bit of a love triangle with you, Alexis, and Divine. Ended up with Divine. Catch people up, if they don't know. Obviously, you guys aren't together. What is going on after that? How you doing life right now? Are you single? And how has Ready to Love changed your life?
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's one of those things to where, you make everlasting friends when you go through something to that magnitude. So I'm still cool with Alexis as well as Divine. I actually talked to her the other day. So, we
Okay,
kept it
cool.
real cordial. We didn't end up from a romantic standpoint, but I think we'll always have a common bond. And as far as me dating, I'm seeing somebody and seeing
Okay.
somebody's, but I'm just
Wait, somebody.
you
Wait a
know what I
minute.
mean? Yeah, I'm just
Was that plural?
I'm just chilling, man. I'm chilling. I love my peace, man. I think that's one of the key factors that a lot of times when people date or they're in a relationship, they don't realize the importance of a man having peace. So, I
Yeah.
love peace, man. I like to sleep,
Right.
not worried about nothing. And that's one thing about me, man. I can tell you I'm transparent with my movement. So that's where
Right.
I
That's
am
cool,
right now.
man. Actually, that's funny you say that because we talked about on the last podcast, we talked about what is peace for you in a relationship. Like, what is peace? What do you need for peace? So maybe we'll bring that back up and talk about that at the end. So David, let's refresh everybody. Tell you guys at home. I don't remember like third or fourth episode. Kind of tell them what happened there and tell them what now. Gentleman of Houston, he's been doing a lot of things. He's got his hand in a lot of pots, ladies. Just a hard-working country boy. He's gonna make sure the lights stay on and the water is gonna be running at all times.
There
So
it is.
catch everybody up, David. Where you been after Ready to Love? How has it changed your life? And then, what happened on Ready to Love with your when you got let go?
Man, Ready to Love was definitely an experience, if nothing else. It was something different. I call it speed dating on crack. Cause we
Yeah,
all over
that's
that,
it.
you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
But I
For
mean, for
sure.
me, life is good. Yeah, I am seeing someone, and that's a good.
Ones.
I ain't say ones. I didn't put an S on it.
Just one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I ain't got them bodies and bodies. Look.
Got you.
Yeah. So everything is pretty much good. I got the transportation company going. Moving whatever,
Right,
car,
man. You've done
the
some deals
whole
together.
nine. Chef. I'm still catering. So I still got the catering. So I do like private events. And other than that, just hey, keeping it moving and making things happen.
Right. Well, good, man. Cool, cool. All right, Anthony, Tony Stubbs. So
Yes,
Tony
sir.
was on my show, Last Resort. Tony did make it to the end with the lovely Winter, and you all are not together. But tell us how that went and how's y'all's relationship now and your experience on Ready to Love, life after, and what you're doing right now.
Well, like David said, it was an experience. I can tell you that. It would be something I would never forget. I mean, especially with us, during the pandemic. I mean, it was definitely a whole different situation. But I
Right,
wouldn't take it
because
back if
we weren't, I'm
I.
sorry to cut you off, but real quick, to your point, like our season, we weren't, a vaccine wasn't even out yet at that point, even whether you wanted to take it or not. So that's why we got taken away to this resort in North Georgia and we were tested randomly all the time and we were quarantined, we couldn't leave. So we felt like captive for a while. So go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we definitely were in a bubble for sure. Um, but overall, the experience, like I said, I enjoyed the experience with me and Winter. We ended up together, but it didn't work out. But me and Winter are cool. We good. I'm pretty much cool with everybody because I felt like, with our season just being a little different with all of us being in that bubble. I mean, we
Yeah,
ate
we had a bond.
lunch and dinner together. So it was more of us knowing everybody. I call it a dysfunctional family. So,
Uh-huh. Right,
so yeah.
right.
But,
That's
but
it.
yeah,
That's
but
it.
besides that, doing that, still working at the school as a student support manager. I'm still doing my fitness thing. Got the gut punch. Y'all get that punch. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
sure.
saying? Fitness coach
Yeah.
online, offline. Currently, right now, if y'all don't know, I actually got picked to be as a top influencer, as a fitness professional. There's a contest
Yes,
going on
sir.
right now. So if y'all listening, please, y'all go to my page, submit the votes, please. If y'all want to donate, y'all can do that too. You can donate $1 to the GED Foundation for mental health and suicide prevention programs for
That's
young
what's up.
teens and young
Nice,
adults.
nice, nice. And
That's
we're
what's
gonna
up.
play again at the end too to make sure everybody gets to that.
For
All
sure.
right, so last but not
That's what's
least, the pro fight of Ready to Love. We got Cornelius in the
I'm
building.
still I'm still a Neo right now.
You're still a Neo.
Yeah, because
You
they're
ain't
not
crossed
done.
the
That's
sands
right.
yet.
They're not done yet. So we
Right.
got Cornelius in the building. Cornelius was on the recent episode of Ready to Love DC. He did leave with the beautiful Camille, and they are still together, but he's going to give us an update on that. And you went through a lot through this show and a lot of turmoil, stuff in the blogs and all that kind of stuff. So how is life now? Have things calmed down for you? How was the Ready to Love experience? How has it affected you positively or negatively after the show? And tell us about Camille, you and Camille's relationship. Everybody wants to know if y'all are still together and how things are going.
Right. So Cornelius Bryant. So yeah, it's definitely I relate to all the guys. It's definitely a dysfunctional family that you create after being on a show like this. I will say it was definitely a initially, of course, you're excited about being on there, and then you were excited about meeting new people. I think as time goes on and you stay on the show longer, it becomes a job in a sense. So you kind of have that part of it. But to I guess it's almost like you, and I was telling another friend of mine, it's almost like you in the Matrix in a sense. It's almost like you can take the red pill, the blue pill. And it's like the people of the audience usually like the blue pill, but when you actually try to reveal them, like, okay, now you can take this red pill, and this is really what's going on, they don't want to hear it. So, so that's kind of how I kind of equate my situation. But yeah, regardless of all the turmoil, all the craziness that happened, me and Camille are still together. We're still in a relationship. That's my girl. I just threw a surprise party for her on Saturday for her birthday. Was actually yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that on your IG. I saw that on your IG.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah. So that was cool. Got a lot of friends and family come out. Some of our RTL family came out as well. So yeah, I would say that's the positive side of it. But of course, you got the negative side of the controversy. And they say we're the most controversial couple come out of so far. I don't know if I believe that or not, but
Right. Hey man, but at the end of the day, whatever it is, y'all are together and love wins at the end of the day, man. So
right.
Be in y'all's bubble and be happy together, man. And sometimes you gotta ignore some of the noise.
You're right. The bubble is definitely what we've been doing, keeping in the bubble, man. Keeping the noise out. So yeah.
I like that. Right, so let's go ahead and get into the barbershop talk. We're gonna get into some trending topics right now, some stuff that's in the news, and I'd love to hear your perspective on this. So let's go to this first one right here. All right, we got Kanye versus Pete Davidson, right? If you don't know, Pete is dating Kim Kardashian, right? Kanye leaked some some direct text message between him and Pete. So I'm trying to see, did Pete cross the line, or who do you feel is out of line? Because for one thing, there's children involved, right? Kanye has if I'm not mistaken, 4 children with this lady. And they were texting. If the relationship don't work out, that's another thing. But I think a text, one of the things that I saw where Pete Davidson, Kanye asked Pete, where you at? And he's like, yo, I'm in the bed with my wife, with your wife. He took a picture, right, with your wife, like in the bed. He was like, like that. Now, some people say he was provoked to do that because Kanye kept poking. Eventually you poke the bear, you're going to wake the bear up. But then Pete Davidson started talking about Kanye's kids. Like, you're doing a damage to your kids, be there for your kids, she's a great mom, stop talking, da-da-da-da-da. So from you guys' perspective, how do you feel, did Pete Davidson cross the line when he starts doing I'm in bed with your wife, and start talking about your kids, trying to give him parenting advice on his kids? I'd love to hear y'all's perspective on that whole saga if you've seen it and heard it in the news.
You OG, what you got for us, Lap?
You gonna put me on the spot with this one, huh?
Yeah, go ahead. We're going senior man present, man.
Right.
That's probably one of the main reasons I don't have kids, is because I couldn't imagine not being around them or being with them. I think it's difficult. I'm not a parent, but I can only, kind of comprehend what's transpiring. And, us being on a show, it's like you're dating the world as well. You're dating the person you're with, everybody else that's watching. So just think about their marriages. I mean, that is that's hard in itself. If you really think about it. I think Pete is very immature for doing that, and even kind of going back and forth. Granted, Kanye's provoked some stuff, but somebody got to be the bigger person and really.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever they're going to be seen by the children, right? That's really the main piece to the puzzle. I think is how are the kids going to feel growing up and knowing that stuff like this was transpiring back and forth. Not saying that your mom was already on the sex, Hey, I'm just putting that.
Right. So go ahead and answer that question as well. So I think, man, you have to have adults present in the room at all times, man. You have to think about the big picture. And the last thing you want is a messy breakup or divorce because it does affect the kids. And then now you got adults going at it, and these kids are harmless. They have nothing to do with it. They was created here out of love, and you got to keep that. So for me, it's super important that I do what I call all the time. I tell myself, hey, control the controllables, right? I'm divorced, and I have a great co-parenting relationship with my ex-wife, right? But we're different now. She's moved on, I've moved on. So there's different things that we might not always agree upon, but I will never let that creep into what the big picture is my son, period. So I'm always going to be the adult in the room. I'm going to avoid all kinds of stuff because it's just better for the kids, man. And I hate the fact that they're doing this. Now, some people may say Kanye deserves it. He's doing too much. I saw that one of the comments. I definitely think Kanye is doing too much. But, I think Pete can write the book as well because Kanye's kind of mental stability is well documented. So you kind of know who you're dealing with. That's all I would have to say.
I actually disagree. I actually love
Sure.
his response, to be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because you're in a public light, and it's like their laws don't agree with our reasoning and our way of life or whatever. I feel like after months and months of how he was getting bullied through his IG page, I feel like
Yeah.
I love his clapback. Honestly, I saw it and I was like, yeah, I feel you.
Somebody corrected me. They said Pete posted the messages, not Kanye. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, just the joint where he said, "I'm in bed with your wife. You need to stop this, whatever." He basically was going back at him. Said, "You need to go to." I think Pete just got out of a mental health
Rehab or
facility or
something.
something
Yeah,
too.
I saw
He was
that.
like, basically, he was like, "You need to go to rehab too, for real, for real." Like he was coming back at. I feel like he came back at him to me, and then like, I'm gonna shade you, but at the same time, I'm gonna try to help you out in the same way. Like you need this help, you need this same help as well. So
Yeah.
I ain't got no problems with what he said. Now Kanye,
Okay.
he's the one that kind of need. Now I'm a Kanye fan though, at the same time,
Yeah.
but
It's
it's
hard to deviate
hard
from.
because when
Me
you get all
too.
the
It's
mess.
hard to deviate from your fandom to your real life. Like my boy, like you tripping, bro. Like, but
Yeah,
hey, can we get some new music?
yeah, I know, right?
Anthony, what you
I
got?
want to hear the music.
Right.
I haven't even. I've heard about the situation, but I don't know it in detail. But I feel
Okay.
like this at the end of the day, y'all both grown men, and bringing the kids that's an issue for me because why you got to bring the kids have nothing to do with this. You know what I'm saying? And like you say, Pete could have been the bigger person, and then on top of that, you have all this social media. This is about to be out here forever. Just like you said, this is going to have an impact on these kids. You know what I'm saying? And them seeing that, and you already know they probably already getting heat anyway from all this. The kids, like kid wise, because I'm focused about the children, and that's the whole thing about this. Is like you could have stomped Kanye all you want to, but why you got to bring the
Yeah.
kids up?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, don't leave the kids out of it. I mean, yeah, you got two grown men. The thing is that okay, if this woman has moved on, she's moved on. I mean, don't come for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I see where Pete at, I see where Kanye at. Kanye, why are you going for that man? I mean, I get you still in your feelings. I get that as your wife. I get all of this, but trust me, like you say, you poking the bear, so you asking for something. You asking for something.
Yeah.
Leave the man alone. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
but Pete, yeah, keep the kids out of it. Keep the kids out of that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all supposed to be man enough, grown enough to settle these differences and move on.
Right. I got you. All right, cool, man. We're gonna get in one more current topic, then we're gonna get into dating and how we feel about dating and from our perspective. All right, let's do one more current topic here. All right. In the news recently, my guy, because I'm from Houston Texan, Deshaun Watson case. All right. So if you don't know, Deshaun was accused of 22 sexual misconduct allegations, right? And he recently just got acquitted, or they weren't going to prosecute or seek prosecution for him criminally, right? So there are those civil cases, and we all know civil cases is 99% about money. So my question to you guys is, how do you feel about the overall case in general? And then two, for them not to pursue any legal prosecution of him, do you think, is it more that he was being suggestive in these massage parlors or asking for this type of extra happy endings? Or because I think if he was physical and grabbed them and tried to force them, then you would have some criminal proceedings. So how do you feel? Do you feel it's a witch hunt? Do you feel it's a money grab? Do you feel it's legitimate? I would love to hear you guys' feedback on the Deshaun Watson case.
I feel it's about the money.
Yeah, I'm about to say the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, because come on now. I mean, that's just like they went for Bill Cosby. Come on now, all these people out all this time you come for Bill, man. Leave Bill alone, man. Bill, oh, you want some money? They see one person get away with it. Now the other person want to come in. This one want to come in. Like, nah, man, they need to stop that. Because some of them, I bet you more than 80% of them women gave that up willingly.
I was just about to say that. I said, come on now. Deshaun Watson was the superstar quarterback.
Okay? They gave it up willingly.
You know, there was no case. You, as athletes, D-Lap already know, Rashid, like, come on now. And especially if you're high up there, it don't take much. I can just give you a wink or a smile possibly, and they'll be like, oh, like, something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I would love to hear from London, having played in the NFL. What is your feedback on that, man? And maybe you know some stuff, some behind the scenes stuff that we might not know.
I mean, I think it could be a 50-50 ball, right? I mean, we really, truly don't know. Only Deshaun and that person are aware of what took place, you know, during that massage. Now, you know, you look at the Bill Cosby situation, like people, you know, it takes one person to kind of step up, and maybe there were a few other people that felt the same way, but they weren't. So they decided to kind of raise their hand, and everybody did. And then it does become a money play at some point, right? You know, people want money. I think Deshaun was sloppy, in my opinion. You know, if this is really what he was doing, he should have made sure it was clear and that, you know, they were aware of what was happening. I feel like he may be or something. I don't know. I don't know the, you know, the full outcome.
What? You broke up. What did you say?
To women possibly being raped or something like that. I mean, that's a serious allegation. So that's why I don't mess around when I played ball or whatever the case may be. I knew whoever I was with, and it wasn't going to be any repercussions that come back on me. You know, from that perspective, he got to be smarter in this day and age, especially with social media and, you know, all the stuff that's out.
It's tough.
Well, too. I feel like.
Go ahead.
I feel like who was that talking? Oh, I was saying I feel like really I feel like because he wanted to leave Houston, honestly. I feel like that's why all this stuff I feel like that's why all this stuff came out. It didn't come out until he was like, I want to force a trade, I want to get out of here. And then now you got 22 women coming out of the woodworks. Now everybody say I didn't even hear like I got raped. I heard like, oh, he rubbed up against me and put his hand somewhere. It's like what? So it's just I feel like they were just trying to reach as much as they could. That's why I feel like there was no criminal charges.
Right. Go ahead, David.
I was just simply saying, I mean, not only that, I mean, you now, in so many ways, now you bringing your old lady into it. You got a woman, you know what I'm saying? You got a gal. So it's like last day, it's sloppy. Like, come on now. You know, so now she having to deal with all of this as well.
Right. No, I get it. So my thing is, I'm 50-50, like London said, and I also agree with Cornelius, having been here in Houston, before this case, like Deshaun Watson was as clean could be. A very good, humble kid, well-spoken, soft-spoken, never, you know, you don't see him out a whole lot, It was very, like, even the league would talk about, like, he's the model quarterback for your organization to be the face of the franchise, right? And then when he wants to leave, all comes out, right? So now you've got powerful white billionaires, and you got this young brother saying, "No, I want to leave." They don't like being told what to do by us.
Right.
They're powerful. Right. Now, mind you, the attorney Tony Busby lives in the same neighborhood as the McLeans in River Oaks, one of the most prestigious neighborhoods in Houston. they're like neighbors, and that's the one who's residing on all of the defendants, right? So you have that's a mighty big coincidence. And then second, I would say Deshaun, he's not completely innocent in this. I think that this was a pattern that maybe had been passed down from the OGs in the league, or maybe even did this at Clemson, because he was a star at Clemson. He was treated like an NFL star there. And I think this was something that he was kind of used to, and it was like kind of like, okay, he would ask and like, hey, what are we doing? Are we doing something after this? And I think you had some people that were willing participants and some that weren't. So I'm kind of on the fence 50-50. I think he's culpable in a lot of the stuff, but at the same time, I think it was just he got caught up in this new age of social media and things of that nature. So it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, it's gonna shake out.
I don't know. I feel like I was about to say. I feel like it's a single brother, man. I don't know. I don't see. I don't know. I just don't see he did anything wrong. I don't think he did anything. I think he was just a rich.
And I would like to think he didn't either, because I'm tapped in here and just hearing about him. I just think he's a good dude. And somebody said
like he's a clean
he has
guy.
a lovely fiance. He does have a very beautiful fiance from Houston, Jilly. But these allegations and the timeline was before him and his new fiance were together. And through this time, Jilly has stood by him through this whole thing, and she's been very supportive of him. So that's how this town women do, or Texas women. All right, so let's move on. All right,
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. One more thing. We'll move on to the.
I was gonna say, I think the cleaner you are, I think the more they try to say, "Oh, we're gonna damage, we're gonna dirty you up a little bit." I don't know. This is me, but
right. Okay. So now some of the ladies got lost with the football talk. So let's get into the relationship stuff. All right. Best place to meet single ladies, single women. So a lot of women are watching this. Where do you guys like to go? So they maybe not go to those places. Maybe now they know where to go if they want to find a nice man. Because all of us here, I like to think we're all evenly minded young men, and we're all doing well in what we do. So where can you find us if women want to find great places to meet us, or men in general?
Sunday Fun Day.
Where at though? Where's Sunday Fun Day at?
Anywhere.
Everybody don't.
Well, it's cold in DC, isn't it? Is it still cold in DC?
Yeah. They still call it.
And we got good Texas weather, man.
I was gonna say like flag football. Actually, I think that's a good place that women can. I mean, if they can be athletic and play and mix it, because especially the co-ed league, I think that's a great
flag football league.
Yeah, I think women. I mean, get picked up like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we have a hard time finding women to be on our teams and stuff like that. Whatever. But when you do find one, they get in relationships quick. So yeah, I think that's a great place that women can. And then you show them that you're athletic. You show them that you can be, be playful, whatever.
Different.
I think that's a great place.
Out of the order.
And you show competitiveness too.
Exactly. You saw all that. Yeah.
I never heard that before.
We have a good co-ed league. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then London, you got something?
I mean, that's
okay.
Old school. You meet you a nice, wholesome woman at the church house. Right. No wrong with that, man.
Right.
Okay. Let me ask you this though. People say that all the time. And I don't disagree at all. But when I was single, going to church, there was a bunch of attractive ladies, but I felt uncomfortable. Like I didn't know how to approach them. Like, hey, what you think about that scripture today?
What's up? You want to get some eat after that?
Hey, did you highlight that scripture in the Bible today that Pastor read from? Like, hey, you want to talk about that later? Like, I always felt a little nervous, like on how to approach it. Does anybody sharing that, or has anybody done that?
I'm with you.
Ladies at church?
I'm with you. That's hard, man. Because you're more focused on the Lord, really, and then you don't get me wrong. Of course, you're looking around.
You're supposed to be anyway.
You looking at the Lord's creatures too.
But that got tight dress on though. Like, hey, man, you know that's tight. What are you doing? Like, she ready to come straight from church and go straight to Sunday Fun Day. She was dressed for that. She knew what time it was.
Hey, listen to me though.
She at the late service too. You always know the club is at the late service.
Right.
Cornelius is devout in his faith, and he's a church guy. So Give us some.
I was
Give
just
us some
going.
game in the church.
I was just going to say it's almost like kind of like going to the gym, right? It's like I don't talk to girls at all, even before getting on the show, whatever, at the gym because I go there
Me
every
neither.
day,
Yeah.
right? So the same thing with the church. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like it's like one of those places like I was trying to tell how I would say it. It's almost like you sleep and you eat the same. Like you don't want to do the same thing at the same place, especially if you don't work out. You know what I'm saying? Now you gotta see them, or somebody may leave the church because I don't want to see how we broke up. We had a bad breakup, and now you don't go to church no more because you don't want to see that person. So it's a little stuff
Hey,
at the church.
London, what you got, man?
hey, I'll raise my hand.
Are you ready to head like the church?
Praise. Look, I was right. You know, every Monday you kind of give a couple of nuggets in relations to sales, right? What is one of the biggest things we do in sales? We ask for referrals. So when it comes to relationships, this day and age, it's almost like with me, you know, prior to this, I wouldn't really talk to anybody seriously unless it was a referral. Because at least I got the background, really got a little history behind them, so that I'm not wasting my time. That's just
Right. And with referrals, there's a higher closing percentage.
yeah, because
Closing
you know
percentage with referrals.
You go close on that one.
a little bit to follow through with it because you were introduced by a friend or somebody that, and normally it worked out. I mean, I've dated a lot of people in that fashion, and you know, it wasn't like at least an awkward or bad date where you going out wasting your money, and you know, it's all bad. Ain't no good vibes.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. I'm with you. The same thing, Cornelius. I'm at the gym. You know, I never did that because one, I don't want to be the, the guy objectifying women in the gym. So I always felt nervous doing that because they want to get their work out for the most part. They
Exactly.
ain't they ain't necessarily worry about you. Now, I do know guys that have met plenty of women in the gym that was I was just never comfortable doing it. I just never.
It's like a
Hey,
it's
you on
like
the
a
treadmill, you
sanctuary.
sweating. Yeah, you sweating, and you might not want to. Your face ain't beat. I don't know. I don't want to jump in your space.
Yeah, everybody be in their little zone. You be like, yeah, I don't want to mess up your
Opportunity. I'm
I'm
going
like,
out.
You want to
first
be
of
like,
all,
can I spot
I
you?
don't want to start out. I don't want to start out by
It don't
smelling
matter.
you. That's already wrong right there. If I smell you,
You
It
want to
could be out
smell
of
it?
respect.
Yeah, you
Matter,
get
man.
turned off and you smell it.
yeah. I'm like, nah, it's not right now. Let me find out about them smells later. Like if that's gonna come about. I don't want to know about that right now.
You know what I learned in all honesty? Women like an aggressive man when they want that man to be aggressive. If they like you,
Yeah.
they don't want that passive tiptoe,
Right.
none of that stuff. They want, hey, I'm feeling you, I like you, let's go out, let's exchange numbers. Like I'm realizing that in this day and age, it's no longer kind of that, let me get to know you, kind of be passive. So when you see an opportunity to talk to a woman, because she may only go to the gym, she may only go to because she's not going to the club or she's not Sunday fun day.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let me ask you this. Is it steps to it though? If you see an attractive woman at the gym, the first time you see her, boom, do you pounce or do you like start with a smile one day, see if you get a smile back? And then the next day you say, hey, I see you grinding over there, I see you, and then come back the next day and kind of build up to it, or you go in?
Okay, so do you want the answer from London in 05 or do you want the answer?
I want to London. Give me
want
both.
right now, right? Because of the way everything is, quick, fast, in a hurry, we're a microwave generation, you got to get on it because you might not see her again. Or somebody else step up to the plate.
Somebody else gonna get her.
Hey, go get it. You gotta be a go-getter, man.
Okay.
You can't sit back
Yeah,
and wait.
the women are definitely more like, and they want you to definitely take lead because a lot of guys don't take the initiative and take lead. So if you're taking lead and you're actually like, hey, I'm interested in you, let's do this, let's set this. Hey, we're gonna go here instead of like you saying being passive, like, oh, what you want to do? Oh, what you want to do? If you're saying this, they be like, oh,
yeah, that don't work.
Okay, well, I'll be ready. Like, so
yeah.
Cool, man. Cool. All right, let's move on. Okay, this is a good one right here. All right, when you're first dating a woman, you get to know her. When is a good time for them to share their past traumas with you? Like I've even had dates like that where they the trauma on me on the first date. And do you think they got a second date invite? Hell no. So from y'all's perspective, when is too soon or when is a good time for a woman to share her previous traumas just in life or in relationships?
I think it just depends on the situation and what type of vibe and energy that y'all have. You know what I'm saying? If it's flowing or whatever, and y'all just talking and vibing and really get to know each other, and it may be a few conversations down and maybe a couple of weeks, 3 weeks. It just all depends on the situation for me. So, but if you immediately are talking about trauma, you're not in a mental headspace to be talking about being in another relationship.
Right, you're not over it. That's what we think about. Yeah.
Because if you're
right.
about that, you're not mentally healed or moved on with that situation. Because if you getting all huffy puffy and you getting mad, I don't want to be in no relationship with you.
Right.
You're not healed yet.
Right.
Yeah,
You
you're not
bothering
healed.
telling me.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. It's like it is going to take a level of comfortability. And I would say if the ladies that are watching, I would say when a man feels comfortable opening up to you about his traumas and issues, I think that's a good time for you to share. You see what I'm saying? So I think if a man has a safe space, if you really want this man, because it takes us sometimes a little longer, and you may, and I'll give you this, ladies. I know, well, it'll take it forever. You might not say it. Well, I think if you give them the safe space to do that, I think it's easy at that point to then counteract the conversation with your traumas. Because talking to friends of mine, and was this a barbershop talk? A lot of times you leave with that. Or it's like, I remember when I used to coach basketball, right? When I get a kid who would transfer from another school, I would sit and talk to him and his parents before I allowed him on my team, right? And him and the parents would talk bad and negatively about the previous coach. And they trying to get on my side, but they don't understand that's a negative thing. Because I'm like, okay, you talk. What if things don't always go right here? You're gonna talk negatively about me to the next guy. So I have a red flag with that, and I equivocate that to dating. If you talk negatively about the next guy, because at the same time you chose him, and how long did y'all stay with him? So I need to know all things. So because that's a negative. When you down, oh, he was trash, he was a deadbeat, blah 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 blah. Then
Yeah,
I
when you're
have
not
more
taking
questions about
responsibility
you.
for your stuff, especially, you got to take responsibility. Because if you're not taking responsibility, and you just blaming the man, that off top for me is immediate red flag, knowing that you had something to do with it.
Exactly. It takes two. Now he might have been what you say he is, but again, you stayed in that relationship and you had some culpability there at some point. Not giving all the blame to you, but hey, we need to know what you played, what part you played in it.
Right.
Next.
Anybody else on the topic? You got anything, London? Or Cornelius?
Man, I'm gonna throw real quick. This may kind of throw a monkey wrench in what we're talking about, but I got a question for y'all. Just something that arose as we're sitting up here, we're conversing. And this is just my personal opinion, right? I kind of love to get everything out in the open. I love transparency. Like when I talk to somebody, I want to hear nouns and verbs, right? Period. I mean, you know, the content got to be thick because our timing, we just don't have the time like we used to. Everything's calculated. So you kind of want to hit the speed button a little bit. And I've always been curious about this question. I know my answer, but I'm gonna ask y'all. Would you react the same way if you slept with a woman the first night versus 10 years later? Think about it.
Wait, say the question again.
If you dated somebody, let's say, for instance, you slept with them the first night versus 10 years later, would you still react the same?
React the same about the trauma?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying like the same as far as, you know, would you look at them differently? Would you look at a woman differently if you felt like, hey, that she knew what she wanted? And, or, you know, early on, don't have to be a one night stand. Let's just say early on in the steps. Because I think a lot of times in relationships, people always have a timeline. You know, we should do this at this particular time, or this should happen at that time. And kind of like what Anthony was talking about earlier, it's like, it depends on the way you're feeling about that person. It depends on the vibe. Like if I'm with somebody, they like me 80%, and you know I like them 50%, we're 30% off. So what they're telling me may not resonate the same way as what I'm telling them, is what I'm trying to state. You know what I mean? I'm going a little bit deep here, but I'm just saying, as a man, we really don't sometimes care about that piece of it. It's more in the moment, and whatever's happening happen. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
No, I agree. I think it's definitely situational, and some things you don't want to get too deep in a relationship for all these things to arise and come up. I get that, but raise your hand if you've been hit with some trauma from a woman dating way too soon and it turned you off. So all of us have. So there's still. So to your point, I agree, London. But we all have a story about that. So it's a fine line. I get it. All this stuff is tricky and it's subjective. So some of it may work and some of it may not. It's just that's why we're talking about it. For sure. Is my sound still breaking up? Or saying my sound is breaking up? Can y'all hear me well?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. So let's move on.
That dial up over there.
All right. So vacation. Your first trip. This is the first trip with a new lady you dating. All right. Who pays? Same room. And do you expect to smash? I want to hear from Davis first.
Vacation. Let's start there. You
Okay,
said
go ahead, Tony.
vacation.
This thing done froze up.
I know, right?
You ain't froze.
All technical difficulties.
Let's get into it. Let's go. The barbershop. Let's go, Tony. What you got?
I mean, you said vacation. If it's a vacation, now I'm more than likely I'm gonna pay it. Once again, it depends on the situation. I don't know. Everybody has their own different perspective when it comes to that. But more than likely, I'm gonna pay. This. Okay.
If you ask, are you gonna pay?
If I ask her, I'm gonna pay.
Okay.
If I invite her,
okay.
Go ahead. If I invite her, I'm going to pay for it. If I invited her out.
If she asks you, do you expect her to pay, or are you still gonna try to help or supplement or pay for it all?
Yeah, I'll chip in on my part or whatever if she invites me, and if she be like, no, I got you, I'ma still put in a little something because I just wouldn't feel right per se, not just doing something.
Right. You wouldn't feel comfortable getting flued out, huh?
Not totally. Now, I mean, I'm gonna have to do something while I'm there, or something like to,
Hey, it depends on where we going. If we just going to Galveston, I got it.
I was just about to say something to that.
Hey, but if we going to a room or something,
Ruby said we split it, huh?
Hey, is it all exclusive or is it...
Right. Hey, I need that all inclusive though. Yes.
Are we going overseas? Where we going?
Yeah. So let's say you're leaving your state. At least you're leaving your state. Oh, that's funny, man. So okay, so I would definitely expect to pay for sure. But let me ask you this: what if they want a different room? Are you even going on the trip? If they want a separate room,
they're definitely paying.
I agree, 100%. I ain't paying for no separate room.
Yeah, I ain't paying for
separate room. Shit.
I'm not doing it. Because that guarantees.
You better
we're nice fashion.
That sofa mattress, that sofa bed over there.
Right. That's fine. That's fine. If you decide that we're not going to get physical, that's fine. No problem.
Right. Perfectly fine.
I'm going to get a room that has a sofa bed, and I'll even sleep on the sofa bed.
I'll sleep on the sofa bed, right.
100%.
But we're not getting no 2 room.
Hey, put it like this. If you go on a trip assuming that you're going to smash and you don't, you're going to be mad as hell.
You're going to be mad as hell.
It's a firecracker.
You know, you want a high percentile, right?
Okay, wait, stop. Time out. Okay, what does your percentile need to be? Does it need to be over 50, 60, 70, 80% chance, 90%?
It got to be at least 80, man. Because you
80% chance is gonna happen.
Hey, you got to be real with yourself, and you know if you have to somebody to go out of state with them. I mean, come on, man.
First of all, I'm finna do the diagnostic. So basically, what I say to diagnosis mean I done already check before we even spend all of that.
It might.
So good. That was my next question.
We not gonna go all the way over here for 3-4 days, and you know we gonna have a moment, and it's gonna get heated. Like, nah, we need to already done cross that before we even spend that kind of money to go. Like, nah.
Perfect. So that was my next question. Do you agree to your first out-of-state trip having not been physical or had sex? Or would you go on the first time never having sex, go on a vacation? Or you had, to David's point, hey, we done already done the do, so now it's just we just gonna go here and be free to do what we already been doing.
Right. If you have a connection, right, outside of sex, right, and I just speaking for me.
Yeah.
If you have a connection,
you have an
emotional connection. If you have an emotional connection with somebody, I think that alone should be enough to where you will go on a vacation, whatever. Right. Now we get back to the paying part. Now we going to, like you said, Atlanta, Houston. I'll pay tickets for that, whatever. But whatever. But if we're going to Aruba or trying to go to like Greece, or something big, we're gonna have to. We can do a lot more with two incomes than we can with one. You know what I'm saying?
Put some on it.
I mean, we can't be on this like. So what Tony was saying is saying like he gonna pay. Well, no, yeah, he gonna pay, but he wouldn't expect the woman to pay. But then it's like if she was paid, and then it's like me and we're obligated. It's like some kind of way we're obligated to always like pitch in or do something. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's a little double standard there, but that's just me. But
I mean,
I think it's a partnership. It's partnership, right? To me, that's how I look at this partnership.
Right. While Cornelius is still talking, I want to ask a question from you. A celibate man or a man that's waiting, how it's different for you. So have you been in those circumstances? Have you always, because you, like you said, I think I've heard one of you talk, like you haven't always been that way. You just, this is the way that you are decide to be now. So has this arose in your current relationship or prior to this relationship when you've been celibate on out-of-town trips and kind of that stuff? Because have you, two questions, how does that work for you? And what about the woman being aggressive and wanting to like, hey, we smash and we go out of here. And you've been holding back. So have you been in that situation, or just tell us about your perspective, because it's a little different since you're celibate?
Well, it depends. Like some years ago, I don't know. I never been that type of guy to be like, I got to hit when I go out of town. You know what I'm saying? So regardless if it might have happened or not, I never been that type of guy where that's like where I go, first thing I go into it with. You know what I'm saying? So, even like you said, if something happens, but I don't, it's something I'm not thinking that's got to happen or it's a wasted trip. But like I said, if it's emotional connection, if this somebody that I'm looking at, I'm courting, and I'm like, oh, this is somebody that can potentially be somebody I can be with, then yeah, if it's like I said, if it's a small trip here and there, I'll take care of that. I'll pay for that, whatever. But yeah, I'm not going to. It's not, like I said, it's not something I lead with.
Gotcha. All right, London, you want to talk? You muted yourself, brother. You're muted.
Yeah. I had just muted for a minute just to any echo. But I'm gonna take this a little bit deeper because I'm kind of on live right now as we're talking, and I'm looking at some of the questions that are coming up. And I think one of the biggest issues we have sometimes when it comes to sex between a man and a woman, and this is barbershop talk. Yes, women sometimes put their private part on a pedestal, and when an issue occurs, in my opinion, and it should be, don't get me wrong, but you reach a certain point in your life when you deal with a man, you should realize that that's not the only thing he's about. Like me, I'm not trying to brag, but I done had some of the baddest chicks. I done it. You know what I mean? You name it. I done talked to, from every race across the board.
Talk your talk.
And it gets to a point where the sex piece is an added bonus, but it's not something that should be literally on the table, or she shouldn't go on the trip saying, I ain't going to give them none. Girl, I ain't going to give, you should just be.
Go with a game plan, right?
Yeah.
Yes, women in the comments, how many of y'all do that? I would love to hear that. How many of y'all go with a game plan? I'm not giving it up. Go ahead, London.
Yeah. And that happens. You know what I mean? You think about it a lot of times, man. And this is no knock. Like I said, it is something special to give your body to somebody, but you also got to realize that you could go down the street and go pay for that. You know what I mean? That's something that could be bought. You want something probably a little bit deeper wrapped around it. And I may be wrapping myself around the axle a little bit here, but I'm just stating that certain men, at a point in their life, it's not just about that. Like, it ain't about that with me. I enjoy it, but it's not like at the top of my list. I'm not like, because I could go to the bar right now if that's what I want, holler at something, and I'll be London in 05. I'm not right now.
Oh,
right, I get that because I was telling the lady that as well. I told her, I said, man, look, every time I go out, I'm not going out looking for nothing. I'm going out to go have some drinks. I'm going out to hear some good music. I'm going out to hang with my partners, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not specifically going out to look for women or look to see who I'm finna take home that night. I'm not doing that. I go out to just enjoy myself, so it ain't always about that.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. I got a few ladies over there saying a woman should pay half, but we all know it don't work like that.
That ain't our reality.
Sure. All right, so let's but she didn't.
Yeah. So let's stay in that same vein. We're talking about sex, smashing, all that kind of stuff. Let's move on to the next one. All right. Do you respect a woman more if she makes you wait? Right? So if you try and she makes you wait, timing is different for everybody. But will you respect a woman more if you smash on the first night or the first encounter or first, few dates? Or do you respect them more if they make you wait? I'd love to hear your perspective on that, guys. And I'll share as well when you guys are finished. Go ahead, David. Go ahead, man.
Hold on, you got to say something now.
You muted. Who want to go, London? Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, London finna say something. He done went dark now. He done blank.
Oh, he gone.
He don't want to answer.
Did he leave? Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, man.
Go ahead, David.
Nah, there it is.
Look.
All right. You got something to say. Go ahead, London. You got it.
Ain't the pros up.
Answer the question, London. Go ahead.
All right. So the question is, would I respect a woman the same if I make the first night versus?
Basically, I added to the question, but the question is, do you respect a woman more if she makes you wait?
I would say yes and no. And this is what I think when you first start dating somebody, that's a pivotal point when y'all are starting that foundation. And let's be real, man. I mean, this barbershop talk. If it goes on too long, too much courting, and you feel like it's time to pull, what does it turn into? It turns into vengeance. Now I just want to smack. When before, maybe you point. Just one. Now you kind of suspension.
I've been there. Yep.
To Aruba, you know what I mean, and you still it gets to the now.
You are frozen now.
Is he freezing up? Okay.
You really are frozen.
That was me.
Yeah, you
got your wish. You were frozen for a second. Go ahead and finish.
That was the part that you
need for the last 10 seconds.
Am I frozen now?
No, not now.
Okay. So to answer the question, no. I would expect a woman to stay if it was the first day, if it was a little bit later on, but if it's too long, and then you ain't like 100 like you thought it was, it makes it 6 times worse. I mean, so
right, like you was really holding on to that. That was trash.
Say that David did.
Oh man. Go ahead, Tony, you got anything?
Pinky.
Tony, you got anything?
Oh man. Well, like what London said, I mean, it all depends on the situation. Once again, it's hard for me. I mean, if I'm talking to the woman, we do it whenever or however, how fast it is. I still have a respect for the woman regardless, because now unless she done did something to me or she cussing me out or there's something else going on, I mean, I'm going to always have a respect for the woman because, for one, she gave herself to me because she didn't have to do it, for one. And then two, overall, that's just me. I just respect the woman because, shoot, I was birthed by a woman. So I automatically just have a respect overall. Now she out here now doing her thing and she being all out there with it and all that. I'm definitely gonna have to let her go because you're not even respecting yourself. So overall, I mean, I'm gonna respect her regardless, unless we fell out or something like that. But I'm gonna respect her regardless.
Okay, let's hear from the man that is celibate. So let's ask you this, Cornelius. So with that, I guess, do you, obviously you're with someone now, but in the past when you were still going through your spiritual walk and your belief system, like, did you share that up front or did it kind of lead into you telling them that? And then with that, how was that taken from the woman? Because I'm sure we've all been there with overly aggressive women, like women, women gonna smash us. Like, there's some aggressive women out there like that.
Right.
So
No,
I'd love to hear from Cornelius.
I had a few say you mine tonight, buddy.
Right. Try to take it, shoot.
Yeah.
I would say that for me, I know there was actually a girl. I was actually thinking about this one girl that I dated or tried to date like a couple of years back. And she told me she was, completely celibate. And I was like one of those, like, like I was one of those people where like you have sex before, but you can wait. You know what I mean? And that is, of course, it's wrong and you're against your faith and all that. But you struggled with that in the past, in a sense. I could have waited, obviously in that situation, because I knew that's something that we both can do together. And I feel like I chased her harder when she told me that she was waiting versus when somebody just like whatever with it. I think I try to chase her harder. I think, oh, this could be somebody that I can do this with, and they can help me to not go that way as well. So I definitely try to chase that girl for like 2 years, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I did, and we never, actually, it never came to fruition. But I would say I respected her a whole lot because she was very respectful of her faith. She fasted, she prayed. That right there is what attracts me, and so that's what I want in my wife and future wife. So.
Gotcha. Okay. David, you had something?
All right, I'm gonna just get straight to the point. If you see the hoe in her, that's just what she is. That you already know what she got going on, how she's doing it, whatever. Like, that's how she moves. You know what I'm saying? But don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna disrespect her. I'm just gonna handle her as she should be handled. I'm not trying to keep her, because we already know what that little situation is about.
Okay, hold on, David, real quick. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna let you finish. So with that, is she considered a hoe or is she just considered free with her sexuality?
She might just be free. I mean, she might just be willing to, I mean, I don't know, because you have some people just be like, oh, I'm in need, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I done had one say, oh, I'm not giving it up until I get married or until I get in a relationship. But then 3 months down the line, I asked pregnant. So when was you giving this up? Like, you was keeping it from me, but you was giving it to somebody else. I'm just saying, so then that's when I kind of lose that respect for it.
Because you can have whole tendencies and not be a hoe.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I respect, just like Tony said, I respect all women. I do, like, honestly. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, I'm peeping what you're doing. I'm seeing how you're moving, so I just have to take it for what it is, handle you a certain type of way, but I'm still going to be respectful, though.
Okay, London, what you got? He raised his hand.
Kind of the definition of a hoe. That's what I want to know. Like, what do you feel like? It's free. Like, I like her. I mean, that just want to, just enjoy life. So why not? So I'm trying to understand, like, if you're in your 40s or 30s, you won't. You get straight to the point. Said, hey, sit down. Whatever the case may be. In my opinion, you know what I mean? Once you get a certain age, you've already done that. So what is the definition of a hoe? What do y'all?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it really is a good question, and I say that because honestly, and it's crazy that I had said that, but at the same time, I've always been the one to say like I feel like a hoe is probably somebody that has somebody but still, dibbling dabbling here and there wherever. That's considered the hoe. But then if you single, like you say, you're free to do whatever you want. I mean, so you in tune with your sexuality, like you good, you know what I'm saying? Like shit, you just like sex, whatever. So I can't necessarily call you a hoe, you single, you free to do whatever you please.
Look at London. All right, some people say London, somebody said London, you got to boost mobile over there. Because you're breaking up. So maybe are you on your earphones?
No. I'm not on. I need to put them on. Hold on 1 second. Hey, stand by.
So, no problem. So I'll give you my perspective and opinion on this. So I do know plenty of people that have had sex on the first night and are still together. So I'm not saying that you're disrespecting yourself as a woman or a man. There are situations and circumstances that it is perfectly fine, and the people didn't judge each other, and they are together. I'll be transparent with me and Simone, because we are in a public relationship. So, and these people follow us to hear, a lot of things from us. So I will be honest with you guys. When I met Simone, we were in a group of people, right? We were all having a good time. There's some friends of mine there, some friends of hers. We were having a good time, and we kind of bar hopped, right? And then, me and her had a kind of a common, we kind of was flirting with each other, right? This is even before Ready to Love. So if I don't know if I've said this on a couple interviews. So Simone is the person to tell me about Ready to Love. She was the first person to tell me. I didn't have any idea that they were casting and filming for a Houston cast. I only knew of Ready to Love because I know London years ago. So I saw it on his page, right? But I didn't know anything about it. So anyway, I will tell you this. We first met and we didn't like each other at all, right? And it was just, but we bar hopped, and she told me about the show. I thought she was capping. I'm like, whatever. So we exchanged numbers, and then she said, hey, somebody from casting, I'll give your number to them. I think you'd be a great candidate because they need some more guys. So I was like, whatever. Okay, here's my number, blah, blah, blah. 2 days later, I get a call from an LA number. I was like, oh, damn, you wasn't capping. But mind you, we kind of had that night, and we just kind of went our separate ways, right? So anyway, the story goes, we're out bar hopping, having drinks. I take her home. I drive her home, right? I ain't gonna lie. I tried to smash. The first night. I'm gonna just keep it a buck.
Right.
We're in the barbershop. I tried to smash, like, hey, she's kind of annoying. She get on my nerves, and she like, and I'm sure she felt the same about me.
Hey, she ain't listening right now, is she?
She knows
She listening.
yeah.
She probably over there next door.
She's close by.
She probably right there.
Right.
Yeah.
She behind the camera doing this.
Right. Like wrap it up, like, but she'll cooperate. Like she didn't like me that much either. She'll cooperate the story, but I'm like, hey, let's live life, like London said. Let's live life.
Right.
Like, yo, let me see what it do. So I'm a red-blooded American male. I'm an alpha. You know what I'm saying? So hey, let's see what happens. So needless to say, she declined my offer. And then at that point, we didn't even talk to each other after that until the show. So what you guys saw on the show was genuine because she kind of X'd me out. I kind of X'd her out. I will say this. When she got out the car, she goes, well, I guess I won't hear from you again.
I hear somebody laughing in the background. Sounds like somebody.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I accidentally muted. So it's like she goes, I guess I won't hear from you again. And I said, no, I'm not that guy. You're fine. In the back of my head, though, I'm like, yep, you're right.
It's over.
I'm being 100. I'm being 100. So, needless to say, I will say this, though. I think if she would have, we wouldn't be together today. I'm going to be 100. I'm going to be 100. If she not have, because Simone she was like, yo, nah, I'm not doing that unless you're my boyfriend. Like, I don't, like, and we left it at that. We were friends. Like, we talked, and then I got on the show, and we talked about going on the show. Like, what did you hear? Did you hear anything? Blah, blah, blah. But it was never nothing romantic. We didn't even go out on another date. Because we were like, hey, let's just see what happens on the show. Oh, no, what happened? Hello? Y'all hear me?
Yeah, you was breaking up a little bit.
Okay, my bad. Okay, my bad. So anyway, I'll make a long story short. So anyway, we got on the show, and it was organic because we didn't even cross that bridge after that one encounter, and then there you have it. So that's my story about waiting, respect or no respect. So somebody said that's my girl. So Simone, you're getting props from here for waiting. All right. Let's move on. Last question of the night. And it's the same other thing. All right. Sticking with this. Could you commit before sex? So a lot of women that I've talked to, say they're waiting, but they're not necessarily waiting till marriage. They're waiting to a commitment, kind of like what I mentioned with Simone. Simone was waiting for a commitment. Could you wait for a commitment from the person that you're dating before you guys are sexually active? Crickets.
Yeah,
I mean, I could.
Yeah, I was gonna say I definitely can. I can definitely wait. I'm echoing. Am I echoing? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, we can.
Okay. Yeah, I would say I can definitely wait. I don't know why I'm echoing all of a sudden. What happened? You doing good?
London gone again.
I don't know what London doing over there.
On that Boost Mobile.
I think that was his phone that was kind of causing echo, right? Okay, I can hear
Okay,
it.
maybe so.
Yeah, but no, I was saying I can completely wait before having sex, before making a commitment.
Got you.
There you go.
There you go. So
Can y'all hear me now? See, I went on my laptop now. I know it's
you good?
but oh well.
That's why they came in closer.
First of all, he texted me the link. I'm just putting that out there. That ain't my fault. I'm gonna put that on that. So I ain't trying to hear that. You can't blame that on me, partner.
I'll take that.
That's why I'm glad I got on my iPad.
I'll take that. Now let's get back to the topic. Can you wait? Can you commit before sex? Look at London.
Come on, bro. Hey, don't give me no political answers on here, man. Y'all
No, we not.
like Obama.
I'm always 100. I gave you mine. Go ahead.
I want somebody else to go first.
Let's hear from David. David's been outspoken on the topic.
Yeah.
Man, look. Well, I'm gonna tell you.
Hey, man, look.
Have I done it before? Yes, I've. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, truth be told, all we had was oral sex. Like she wouldn't give me none at all. I'm like, but hold on, you tripping? Because you done already got me to this point. So I'm like,
right.
This got to go down. So I'm like, nah, this got to go down. So it's like,
got the blue balls.
I ended up waiting though. You know what I'm saying? So I did. I waited or whatever, and that was cool, whatever. But now it's just kind of like, I think it was the somebody flying with me that had my back because I waited as long as I waited, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know if it's gonna be good or not. But luckily, it was good after waiting so long. But
What if it wasn't after waiting so long? What if it wasn't?
I don't trust that. See, that's the whole thing. Like, you tell me now I gotta wait 3 months, I gotta wait 6 months, I gotta wait, all these months. And once again, come to find out it's trash. Like, you just wasted my time. Like
somebody Somebody said that was to tide you over, the oral.
Right. So I wouldn't go for
Hey, I feel like kissing is more affectionate than sex. So if you tongue kissing somebody, you might as well go the whole.
Might as well. You done put your mouth. You done did some things. Like, come on now. I'm like, just
Wow.
go ahead. Just go ahead and Mortal Kombat, man. Finish him.
So I hear David, because I've been in situations like that before, where they were willing to give the oral, but not willing to give the box. Like, I'm like to me, make it make sense. Like,
we come too far.
Like, we come too far. Like, I can see if you're a virgin, okay, cool. But if you're not a virgin, your chastity has already been broken. Like, you gonna give me the oral and you expect me to return the oral, but we can't get. Come on, man. Like, make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, somebody said that's backwards. To me, that's a bit backwards. Make it make sense.
All I got is the emoji.
Somebody said it's a teaser. It is kind of a teaser. So I don't want a teaser to become you turning into a tease.
I mean,
right?
Well, I'm gonna say it like this. For me, right now, committing before sex, because I'm currently not looking for a relationship like that right now. And
okay,
I'm dating. I'm openly dating, but it's tough. I'm a Christian man too. Don't get me wrong.
Hey, stop beating around the bush, man. Be real with yourself.
I just told you.
Stop beating around the bush, man.
I told you.
Let's go. Give us the real route.
Come on,
Did I not
man.
just tell you? I told you. I said right now. I said currently right now. Now, if I'm looking for something, it depends for me. Whatever y'all do, that's what y'all do. But Anthony Stubbs, if I'm ready to commit, and if it's a
you went with the government name, not Tony. Not Tony Stubbs.
It's Anthony now. See, you got me on Anthony right now. You got me business mode.
Anthony.
Honestly, if I'm taking it that route, and if it depends on her, if she's one of those and I'm really feeling it, yes, I can. There's certain things I can do. I know I can. I've done it before. So it just all depends on the situation. Currently, right now, no.
Gotcha.
That's just what it is.
Okay. London, do you have a rebuttal?
I believe 70% of that. I believe 70% of that.
I'm just keeping 100. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask this question.
Go ahead.
Would you go, Mr. Car Guy? Would you buy a car?
I was just about to ask the same question.
And pay the note before you test drive it?
I was about to ask the same question, actually. That's funny.
Well, you want me to give you the real car guy answer?
A barbershop.
Yeah, so the real answer is yes. I've done before. Like, the market is like, I bought a Range Rover sight unseen and flew to Chicago and bought it and drove it back home. So if you want to give that analogy, I have done that before.
Yeah, that probably wasn't a good one. Yeah, I did. Right. I messed up.
So a lot of my clients, I send them pictures, video, and that's it. I send a picture, video, and I ship in the car.
Okay, what about purchasing a house? Because I'm gonna be the house guy. I'm coming up next. So would you purchase a house without doing a walkthrough, or at least an open house?
He said walkthrough.
Absolutely not. And then for some of us can equate the box with the house, coming home to the box. So I get it. I see that's better. Because box is home base. The box is home base.
Yeah. You regroup.
I mean,
I get it.
Again,
so I get it. I have done it before, but majority of the time I have not. So me doing it before is like at a 10%. 90% I need to view the home before.
All right, so I'm gonna keep it a buck, no cap. I'm gonna use all the latest slang and jargon, right? London in 05, I could have done that, but I'm 44 years old. I don't have time for those games, recess, coloring and drawing and stuff. Like, I need to hear verbs and nouns. There ain't no way that, I'm at the pinnacle point of my life. The halftime show is already played. The band has made halftime adjustments. Like, this is what you getting. We coming out the tunnel. It's third quarter, you know. So if I'm talking to somebody, we got to be all in. I got to know that you got all the chips on the table, and that's part of the chips. Like,
That's part of
ain't
the
no
shit.
way, ain't no way, ain't no way,
Hey,
boy.
let me
Ain't no way.
well, let me ask this question.
Cornelius.
Hold on. I'm gonna close it
All
out
right.
because if I'm being real with myself, if that happens, I'm gonna be getting my rocks off somewhere else, and I'm not really in a committed relationship. So you better off not doing that if you know you got needs. You know what I mean? Because you're putting all that in that one person, and you don't know when it's gonna happen, and you gotta wait in that committed relationship. So I would rather not commit if I know that's a piece of the puzzle that I'm gonna be searching for. So I'll close it at that.
I get it. So go ahead. One thing I want to say with the comments. Thank you guys for joining us. But this is men's talk. This is the barbershop talk. We're letting you inside the barbershop. So yeah, we may talk like we're in high school, or maybe we may talk like we're in 05. But this is real life. So if you want in, be in. It's the real deal. That's why I'm doing these talks, to give y'all insight to what we talk about when y'all aren't around. You're welcome. Continue.
Yeah, I think David was gonna say something, but I'm good to go. I mean, and I'm just, you know, I'm not joking. I'm being serious. Like you get to a point in your life where you know what you want, you know what your needs are. Just like, you know, everybody writes it down, what they want to make, what they look for, and you got to be real with yourself. If that's something that, you know, because who knows how much longer, you know, somebody can go. You know, it ain't given every day, man. You know, it's some people that you know, they reach a certain age, man. That ain't, you know, they tree trunks, man, not holding no leaves. You know what I'm saying? So you can't. so you can't. You know, an old man once told me, never pass up a restroom, never waste a heart on it. No matter what you ever do, don't ever trust the father. So, you know.
Man, I was gonna say.
Go ahead, Cornelius.
Okay, I know this is gonna be a little different than what we already said, but
go ahead. Go ahead. You got the floor.
Do you feel like though, if you wait, do you feel like though it will build more of an emotional connection? And so when you actually do something, it'll be there regardless of testing the car or not, or walking, like you talk about using houses, doing a walkthrough and whatever. Do you feel like having that emotional, spiritual, all that connection will bring all of that anyway, and then that just be the icing on the cake? I'm just.
Yes, no. To your point,
that's contradictory to what's been said.
No.
Not really. You make a valid point.
That's on topic.
You make a valid point.
Yeah,
because I mean, if you have all that, you know, working, right? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? If I can't have a woman that can't talk to me, that can't talk me off a cliff, and all we got is sex, then we ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you can get sex from anybody, but what else are you bringing? You know, are you bringing some type? Are you gonna be able to pray for me? You're gonna be able to call me up and be like, you know what, you was on my mind today. I want to pray for you. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of. And so when you get down to the ice, and it's like, oh, this is like icing on the cake. Oh, we got this too. Okay, bet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the emotional connection. So
can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Go ahead. I was gonna say a couple of words if you don't mind, Rashid.
Go ahead.
I'll finish. So, you know, just to what you stated, you're absolutely right. And I guess what I'm trying to state is a man being 44 years old, I know what I want. Like I can, it don't take all day to recognize sunshine. So a lot of times I'll know if I have that connection with somebody early on, and I wouldn't even go down that path if it was no growth, if there was no growth involved. It's just like us, Rashid, when we get into sales, we know when the deal is there or not. We know when somebody's serious about, you know, purchasing something. Yeah. And that's the way I am. When I put my salesman hat on and I deal with relationships, I could tell, you know, from their movement, it doesn't take me a long time to understand their core values. I see the way they treat their parents, you know, just like I said, you know, their spiritual connection, you know, the way they move, you know, you can see all that, their job, you know, how they go about handling their business. You see all that early on. So I know.
I agree. And to Cornelius's point, I said when I spoke earlier, I have done that before because it was a lot of physical up front, and I saw I wasn't having an emotional connection, right? And it was only physical. So I've been celibate before. There's a double-edged sword with that, though, and I'll get to that a little bit later. But I've been celibate before for that simple reason. Like, you know what? because eventually, you know, walk around doing it like little rabbits is going to dissipate, right? And then what do you have?
Right.
You're just sitting there watching TV and nothing to talk about. It's crickets because all y'all have had is a physical connection. And I was going through a point to whereas I didn't want that anymore. So I became celibate, and then I would just reach out and just date and get to know people emotionally and physical connection, because when we grow old together, all this libido and stuff is going to slow down. We need to have a commonality together and be able to pull in the same direction and be life partners and enjoy life together. If it's only physical, then that separates itself. So I've done that before, but at the same time, and I'd love women to hear the ladies' comments from your friends and yourselves. I've done that before, but guess what? I heard backlash from that from her and her friends. Later on, when we did become physical after I waited, yeah, my girl's like, girl, is he gay? Why ain't trying to smash? So it's a double-edged sword. We're like, when we want to wait, now we gay. What's something wrong with us?
Now we gay.
So let's keep it 1,000 in the chat.
Hey, I'm with you. I've been there.
I've done that before. Then I heard the negative things, like what's wrong with him? Why ain't try? So ladies, explain that, because I've done that before, to do it the right way, be an emotional connection, right? And I've had that kind of a backlash. Go ahead. Who else?
No, I was gonna agree with you. The same thing. I've been there too, where you said, you wait and you don't, or you might even get to the point where you might actually about to do something. You're like, you know what? I feel bad. I feel convicted. I can't even do anything. It's like, what's something wrong with, So yeah, I definitely been there as well, for sure.
Right, man.
I mean, with that weight can go. It can go a bunch of different ways. I mean, how you say, the waiting can build a connection, or the waiting can put you in the friend zone. The waiting can put
it can do either. It can do either. But you have to be okay with the results. If you decide to wait, you have to be okay with the outcome.
Right. You have to be. And once again, like I said, I'm the type, I got to test drive mine before I buy it. I'm sorry. I got to see what it's all about, because when it comes down to it, with me, I'm basically, when you think about it, because you got these ones saying I do, you want to say I do, then okay, we can do. But then you just committed your life to this person, and it ain't even about nothing, but you waited out of respect for them, because that's what they wanted. You really liked them. You really wanted to get to know them and all of that, beforehand, whatever, before y'all get into that part. Y'all, that whole scenario, because you got some of them say they not going to do nothing until they get married. And I'm like, that's crazy, because once again, I done had women come tell me, they say, ain't no way they going to fool with a man that's going to, not give it to them until they get, like, they literally.
The same way.
If the sex is trash, woman told me, if the sex is trash, I'm finna cheat on you. And I'm like,
dang. Hey, I heard the same thing. Yeah, I know.
I'm like, that's crazy. So it's okay for them to say it, but we can't say. I mean, that's what it is.
That's jacked up. That's double standard. It's messed up.
That's what it
double
is.
Standard for sure. It's definitely double standard for sure. So, okay. So I just want to be clear. So when the question was commit, doesn't mean necessarily you have to wait till marriage, but commit to being a monogamous relationship. So to your point, David, there's still opportunity. You're not on a formal contract or paper with marriage with this person. So if the sex is trash, you can still leave the relationship. I'm not saying, I'm talking about commitment,
right. Yeah,
monogamous. Hey, we're together. We're gonna be exclusive.
But like Lana say, I mean, I don't really want to be wasting my time. We getting older.
You're 35, bro. You ain't in the 40s.
I'm a
wait.
I'm a wait to find out it's trash, and now I got to break this relationship off because it was trash.
Okay, so a lot of ladies want to know, what does trash sex mean?
Ladies,
what's trash?
Look, I'm like London now. Look at this face.
That got me crying.
Oh, man.
And whoever asked that know what trash sex is.
Right.
they know what that is.
They know exactly. But of course, they in the bar.
You leave unfulfilled.
They want to hear from us.
They want to hear from us, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead, David. That's your quote. You say conversation is trash. I remember you told Simone conversation is trash.
was that on the show?
Conversation is trash.
Yeah.
Hey, let me Google that. I'm gonna Google that for you, David. I'm gonna help you out.
I gotta go
What
back
is
to
trash sex?
Help me out, look.
Yeah, what is trash sex?
Oh man, add Siri.
What is trash? I'm gonna give you some lifeline. I'll give you a lifeline. Trash sex is they just laying there playing dead fish, or they're not being active. They're not talking back. Like, what does David feel is trash sex?
Like you said, lazy. That's number one. I mean, and not being so, all out there like that, but I want you to throw it back on me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just be doing all the work. I mean, come on, move.
Yeah, you want
do
an active
something.
participant.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? You got to be doing something. I mean, this can't be just, I don't want that. I ain't trying to be there with you like that. No, because once again, I'm going to go somewhere else. So you need to be active. You need to be doing
That
something.
sounds like lazy sex.
That's exactly what that is. So lazy sex is definitely trash.
Trash sex doesn't necessarily have to be physical. It could just be that y'all are just not emotionally connected. Like, because that's part of it, right?
Oh, now here you go with the Obama answer. Go ahead.
No. That's not no Obama answer. That's like going around the grocery store and getting a sample.
No.
Hey, let me just stick the head in. You know what I mean? So you gotta, it's like getting a sample.
Right.
Costco sample.
Right.
So what I'm saying I'm giving the honor to God answer. Excuse me, Lord, please forgive me. But
God knows what you be doing. God knows what you do. He knows what he
First of all, I'm talking London 05 right now. This ain't 2022.
One over here on this shoulder.
Yeah, because I gotta watch what I do.
I feel this one over here.
Yeah. Trash sex is just really y'all didn't connect. She didn't get off. You may have got off, but you didn't get off the way you wanted to. It could be a physical thing. It could be, it could be that you go off in there and you dislocate a hip because she got some mileage on it, or it could be the other way around. That it wasn't enough lubricant to get the.
Oh my God.
There it is.
I will say.
I didn't know
I'll say that.
But yeah,
I will say that trash sex. If it's not lubricated right, if it ain't watery.
If it don't sound like stirring macaroni and mac and cheese, fresh out homemade.
Hey, that's what Moneybag Yo said. Huh? That boy said good. It's like you're stirring.
Look at Cornelius.
Leave me out of this.
that better sound like mac and cheese.
Oh my gosh. Mac and cheese. Oh man. Ooh, I'm crying too.
That's facts though. If it's not doing what it needs to do, and we can't do what we need to do.
And it could be you. I mean, just when I say trash sex, that don't mean you ain't delivering it. It's just y'all got trash sex together.
I just got trash sex together.
It could be like the pheromones.
You might have been
lined up.
sneaking.
Yeah, y'all ain't lined up with your energy and organicness.
Right.
Okay, I get it.
Oh
like
yeah.
anything else to add
You
to
have to
this?
remember, y'all are connecting, and immediately when y'all are touching each other, that vibration and that energy. If it's not vibing, yeah, it could. Just like you said, it could be vice versa with me. I might not get her off, and it might be trash D to her because the vibe and the energy is just not connected.
Right. And then at the same time, we're all different. We all like different things.
Right.
I know friends of mine who don't like a loud woman to be screaming and hollering. Some guys love that. It's all different. So I think we're just talking about, that's why it's a panel of 5 people. Everybody's different.
Right.
So, I like that. I like, that's why we have these conversations.
Awesome. I like it.
All right, guys. So, man, we've been going at this a little while now. It's an hour and a half, man. So we're going to go ahead and end this and sign off, man. I'm having a great time with you guys, but I don't want to go too long. So let's give some closing remarks, and I'll give you each an opportunity to plug whatever you got going on, businesses, things coming up, anything you're promoting, sponsoring, the whole 9 yards. So David, as we closing remarks, tell us what you got going on, tell us where they can find you, and all that good stuff.
So as an ambassador, I am an ambassador for called Wink and Drink. You can go look it up on IG. You'll find it there. It's actually an app, Meet Now app, where you can actually purchase drinks on the app. You can purchase food on the app. Like you can actually buy it for someone and not actually be there. You know, it's actually real cool, and we got like some special stuff coming up with that. Let me see. I have my transportation company, which I'm hauling everything everywhere. So if anybody need anything hauled from here to Georgia, I mean, I holler at my boy London every once in a while when I head out that way, all types of stuff. So then I got my catering business as well, but you can look me up on Gentleman of Houston, gentleman_of_Houston on Instagram. Look, that's where you'll find me. You can shoot me a message or email me, and hey, just let me know what you're trying to do. And I also got a movie that's about to come out as well. That should be dropping. I guess just pay attention to my Instagram. Go on there and just, how they say, turn your notifications on, and you'll see that. You'll see when I drop that on there. But it should be dropping. As a matter of fact, I want to say probably the end of the month or next month. So that's coming up as well. So I have a few little acting gigs going on as well.
Okay, good, man. Tony, what you got going on, man? Tell us about everything.
Oh man, still got the online fitness business. Got the gut punch where you can get your juice. Hey, if you trying to lose that weight and lose it in a natural way,
tell them what the gut punch does for them. Tell them what the gut punch does.
The gut punch, it focuses on inflammation, getting that chronic inflammation out your body, and that's why a lot of people have a hard time losing weight, because when it pertains to the diabetes, blood pressure, 9 times out of 10 you have inflammation in your body, and that's what it focuses on, getting that light detox out of your liver so you can actually lose the weight naturally and keep it off because you're getting that inflammation out your system. So that's what the gut punch does. That's online. You can follow me at the TTF movement. It stands for True Transformation Fitness Movement. It's about overall lifestyle, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And we focus on the mental aspect because at the end of the day, you can't make no changes physically if you don't make them mentally. So doing that, I'm actually co-hosting something like this. It's called Uncomfortable Conversations, just like this barber talk, but I'm actually doing it with the majority of women on the Thriving Women Network. And you can catch the latest episodes on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Central Time. Then, of course, got the contest going on. I need y'all to vote. Ladies, everybody, I need y'all to go vote for this reality show, this game show about Influence Me TV as a top influencer. So I can be one of the top 20 to hopefully go on this show and show what I'm all about when it pertains to fitness. So that's what I got going on.
All right, London, tell us what you got going on, brother.
Man, I don't have nothing going on compared to them two gentlemen. Throw that out there, man. Shit. We got Reverend Tony up in the right-hand corner. He up there patting himself. So now on a serious note, I really don't have anything going on from an entrepreneurial standpoint. I'm a corporate America guy myself.
Corporate sales guy.
Yeah, I've been doing that for 20 years.
Tell us about that, man. Don't shortchange that, man. You're higher up. You've been promoted, man. Tell us about what you work with Penske, man.
Yeah. So most recently, I came out to Atlanta. I was expecting to stay here a lot longer than what I did, but I had an opportunity, got a different position to where now I'll be over New Orleans, Houston, as well as Austin. So looking forward to moving back home. I actually move next Friday. I'll be driving to Houston with me and Apollo. That's my dog, just me and him, headed that way, man. So I just been bidding on a couple of cribs. So looking forward to linking up with you fellas whenever I get back to Houston. But that's really all I got going on. I'm just happy to be headed back, taking care of my parents. They're getting a little bit older. So that was something that, really, really inspired me to head back that way. And I was blessed enough with the opportunity. So that's all I got going on, just living life, Second, I'm in the third quarter of the life. The band's already played. Halftime adjustments have been made.
All right, and then last but not least, Mr. Cornelius, tell us all you got going on,
Okay.
just to watch out for you, where we can find you.
Can you hear me? It was breaking up a little bit.
Now we hear you
Can
now.
hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I'm like same way. I'm like, dang, what I got going on? So yeah, I'm a corporate America guy too. I work as an electrical engineer for a aircraft company. So working on aircrafts, helicopters on the military side. So that's my main 9 to 5 job. But I also do acting, modeling, work at the agency here in DC and with a couple agencies in New York as well as in Virginia. So still doing that grind. Got a fashion show coming up on the 27th here in the DC area. And then me and Corey are actually working on a project together called DC Undercover. It's kind of like a spinoff from New York Undercover. So we got DC Undercover.
Yeah.
We're actually filming now. We got a couple of sizzle reels that he's actually working on now. He put a couple of things out already, but we got a couple of little things we're still working on with it. And we're trying to get ready to hopefully film our first episode here soon. So yeah, we definitely been collaborating on that. And I got my website for my modeling acting stuff is www.c-bryant.com. So c-bryant.com is my website, I guess you say, for modeling and acting and things like that.
Great, man. Great. All right, man. Well, thank you guys so much. And as far as me, thank you guys so much for all your continued support on the Agent Stages podcast and your individual support on Simone's Girl Is That Legal, as well as my Car Gods. I have new episodes on Car Gods. I have a whole sizzle reel to catch you up. And then we've started new episodes. So I just released a new episode last week on Car Gods. So please like and subscribe to that. Please like and subscribe to Simone's Girl Is That Legal. And we didn't have a review or reaction this week because there was no Ready to Love, but we're going to film that this Friday, and there'll be a new reaction video on Monday. And look out for this. Me and Simone have just signed on to be hosts as a couples retreat. We'll give you more information on that in the coming days. And that will be, we will give you more information after our Monday, once our Monday release of our review is up. We'll give you information about that. That's going to be great. And I think that is in the DR. No, I think that's in the Dominican Republic, guys. So if not, we're going to give you the final details on that. And Simone, I know she's watching, so chime in on that a little bit. But that's what we got going on. And we appreciate you guys so much. And we'll be back soon. I'll have another group of guys for you guys for the panel. Again, thank you guys so much. All of you guys have tuned in, made comments, you like and subscribe. Please continue to follow and support this page. All right, that's it.
Hey.
All right, guys. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Appreciate you.
Later.
All right, and we out, y'all. Thank you guys again so much. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Peace.